Have you ever wanted to roll a kayak? Don't know how or where to start? Stay with me to learn the basic fundamental movements on land with Cheri so you can reach your first kayak roll.
So, in Understand Kayak Rolling, it's important to know a few different positions. And the first thing we're going to look at is the neutral position. So here, I'm in a neutral position. I'm not right side up, I'm not upside down. My kayak's not right side up, it's not upside down. And what I do with my head is really important. So if I pick my head up from here, you can see the kayak becomes more upside down. If I push my head down into the ground, the kayak becomes more right side up. So once you've been in that neutral position, you definitely want to shove your head down underwater to bring the kayak into a more upright position. So let's just see what we're doing with the paddle while we're doing that. So I bring the paddle here into a high brace position, this pivot hand at my shoulder. So from here, all I want to do is drop my head back underwater, blah, 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 and then move myself to the back deck. And you can see that that forms just a little sweeping action there. So that's how we get out of the water. So how do we get into the water? First, we rotate, getting our hips shifted so that our shoulders can be down the center line of the kayak. We take the paddle directly under our shoulders. And the next step is to tuck. Bring our nose right to the paddle. And then we capsize and hold that position. So I'm gonna just capsize myself and get back into that position. So I've rotated, I've tucked, I've held. From here, I'm gonna keep my body in this tucked position and bring the pivot hand to my pivot shoulder. So now you can see my upper body looks really good. My pivot hand's at the shoulder, paddle's floating on the surface of the water, my face is facing upright, shoulders are flat, but my kayak is upside down. So I need to fix that by driving my water leg, the lower leg. There. Now I'm in that neutral position, so all I have to do to recover from here is to drop my head back underwater. Head back, slide onto the back deck, and then I can sit up.
Before we move on, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Gearlab Outdoors for sponsoring my trip and giving me the opportunity to do a workshop with Cheri. I felt it was incredible that Gearlab Outdoors wanted me to share these type of videos with everyone here so that you would enjoy your kayaking moments with the Greenland paddle.
And do the same thing so you can see what the legs are doing. I'm gonna rotate. I'm gonna tuck. Capsize. Pivot hand to pivot shoulder. And now I'm gonna take my knees, which are pointing over here, and I'm gonna point them to the sky without moving my upper body. Just point my knees up there. And now I'm gonna point them all the way over there. And notice in doing that, my hip came off the ground. That rights the kayak, and then I just have to arch my head back a little bit more. The kayak will be right side up, and then I just slide my body into a straight position.
Cheri, the leg drive, what is the leg drive?
Well, let's look at that part, the leg drive. To me, it's two things. It's driving this leg up into the kayak to turn the kayak over, and then it's driving the hip up. So I like to break it into two parts. So I'm gonna rotate, tuck, capsize. Bring my pivot hand up so my paddle's in the right position. And now my knees are pointing this way. And when I point my knees to the sky, I'm engaging my thigh into the thigh brace. So this is leg drive right there. That's engaged there, but my hip is still down. To turn the kayak all the way over, I have to push that hip up. So that's more of a hip drive. And if your kayak's not responding, you just keep doing it until it does, driving your head back as far as you can. If you peck your head up, look what happens to your hip. It goes down. So if your hip isn't working all the way, check your head. So when we do the reverse sweep, it's the exact same thing as the standard roll, only it's opposite. Everything is opposite. So instead of floating on our back, we float on our face. So it kind of looks like this. This is my neutral position. If I pick my head up, the kayak becomes more upside down. If I push my head down, the kayak becomes more right side up. Okay, make sense? Okay, so this is our neutral position. And I want to start by doing the roll by really driving my head, really lifting up with my head. So this is going to be my start position. Square, 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 all the way to the kayak's right side up. And then I swivel my body over the front deck.
Okay, so when you say square, you mean parallel to the water?
Surface of the water,
Surface
yes.
of water, okay.
And this is, what we're doing is the how you get out of the water part of the roll. We're not doing the whole roll here. I'm just showing you how you get out. So we call it the forward pry recovery. The paddle would be underground here. This arm would be directly underneath me, under my belly button. This hand would be up near my forehead. And my spine will be kind of arching up like this. But I can't really show you the paddle under the ground. So we just kind of keep it there. So the idea is that you're out here. The tendency on this one is to do this. To angle yourself so you're looking towards the horizon instead of looking straight down. You should always be looking at the bottom of the sea. And you want to look right at your hip, not at your knee. You want to look right at your hip as you finish, drop the forward shoulder and lift the back one as you swivel over the deck. You want to make sure that your body comes in straight and then tucks over. Don't cut the corner with your nose. So without the kayak, it kind of looks like this. I'm going to rotate so my feet are out of square. I'm going to get into that face down float position. I'm going to arch up with my spine. And in this case, I'm going to take both knees upside down. That indicates my kayak is upside down. And then from here, I want to start dropping my head and looking directly at my hip until both knees are pointing straight up. Once both knees are pointing up, then I can bring myself across the deck by dropping the shoulder down and pushing the shoulder up.
Like that. Like that.
Can you bring both your knees to touch the ground?
Both to,
Yeah, and then really stretch out. Stretch out.
Like this?
And like lift your head up a bit.
lift up.
Yeah, so you're arching up. Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
okay.
like that. Good. And then try and keep your arching up and start turning the kayak with your legs. Yep. Keep your face looking down. Don't let your forward shoulder pop up. That's it. Now start walk. Yep, good. Keep lifting up the back shoulder. Keep lifting up the back shoulder. Yes, yeah. Yep, and keep looking at your hip.
Okay.
Yes, don't look at your knee. Keep lifting the back shoulder. Keep lifting the back shoulder. More. Yep, good. Now you can swivel across the front deck. Yep.
Yeah. You mentioned it's the reverse of the standard Greenland roll.
Yes.
So then this bit, when you're coming up,
Yep.
are you pushing your legs up at the same time?
Well,
on
it's
the
kind of
kayak?
like the leg drive question that you asked earlier. To point to the sky, that's where your leg drive comes in, right there. But you want to be forward. So in the layback roll, everything happens behind the hip.
Yeah.
In the reverse sweep and the forward finishing, everything happens in front of the hip. So you know how in the layback roll, to succeed, the closer your head is to the deck, the easier the roll is.
Right.
And the same as this. The closer your head is to the deck, coming up, the easier this is. So this is where flexibility is helpful here.
Okay.
But more important than flexibility is the correct action to be applied. The big mistake is people feel the kayak starting to turn.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I must be able to come up now. And they start to move towards the deck and notice my shoulders are knifing.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the horizon instead of looking at the bottom.
That's exactly what I'm doing wrong.
Yeah. All right, the storm roll is a bit tricky to show on the ground, but I think it's worthwhile to do because you do learn stuff, but it is a bit tricky. So the storm roll has to do with the paddle being connected to the kayak the whole time. It's a little tricky with the carbon on carbon, but we'll demo with a wooden paddle later. But we're gonna look at the body action right now. So in a layback roll, your body starts closed, ends open. In a reverse sweep, your body starts open, ends closed. In the storm roll, your body starts closed and finished closed. So it's a little bit, how does that happen? So your nose needs to go from one gunnel all the way over to the other. So I'm gonna start by rotating and tucking and bringing my nose to this gunnel. And then I'm gonna capsize like this. The next step is the paddle needs to get to the bottom. It needs to get over this chine. Both hands, preferably, over the chine like that. The next step is I'm gonna tuck my nose into my armpit here and start bringing this hand to my opposite ankle. So it's kind of tough on the ground to see the whole idea, but it looks like that. Okay? So it goes from here to here. It's kind of like one big sweep. And without the kayak. So I'm gonna rotate, I'm gonna tuck, I'm gonna capsize, get the paddle over the chine wall, which is bringing it to the bottom of my butt. Nose goes into armpit. This hand goes to the opposite ankle. And that's it.
Wow. That looks very easy.
Okay. Give it a try.
Okay. Is it?
Just right there, right there. Tuck, capsize. Reach the hands around to the bottom of your butt. Let the paddle take the shape. Yes, good. Nose into armpit, and this hand goes to that ankle.
This hand?
This hand goes to that ankle.
Oh, okay.
As your nose goes into your armpit. Yeah, like that.
Easier.
So it's kind of like a sweep across the front.
Okay, and then
But we could try it with the Avitop too.
Okay. We're getting eaten alive by bugs, so I think we're going to get out of here and go to
the water.
Okay, let's go.
All right, let's get out of here. Holy moly. Holy.
Thank you.
Little